alert, red alert. All hands to the battle station. This is episode 9, Free Action, Bioship Alpha, being recorded on Thursday, September 10th, 2015, and being released on Thursday, September 10th, 2015. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a free action edition of Battle Station. I'm your host, Tucker, and you're probably wondering what a free action edition of Battle Station is. So here's the deal. We are in the middle of a blind buy preview season, and I am watching everything as eagerly as the rest of you, especially since David and I are, of course, very close friends, and I'm very happy to hear him doing the preview these days, even if I do sort of just, you know, pause the video and, you know, fast forward between the card images. But I'm sure he's doing a great job. I'm sure he's doing a great job. And you should all go watch his video if you haven't, because what a free action edition of Battle Station is if I watch a preview video for a new ship coming out, you know, blinds, prize, whatever, maybe even a Star Trek Online or StarTrek.com preview article, and I see something that just sort of, you know, sparks the imagination, I am probably just going to leap right on and record, because frankly this does not take that long to actually do. So for our first free action edition of Battle Station, we're going to be doing Bioship Alpha. Why not Bioship Omega, you ask, if you are keeping up with the previews and you know that the preview that sparked this is Bioship Omega. Well, the answer is Bioship Omega's ability is neat, but I am it's cool and I'll run it. I like it. I'll probably run it over Beta. I'm not sure. I like Beta's ability a lot too, but it's win more. In other words, if you're doing 2 damage to an enemy's hull already, like, I mean, you're probably in a position where flipping them around is super cool, and I hope they use this ability more. But like, you're probably already going to kill them. So it's a great ship, and you should totally go out and get it. But it's not really in the vein of this program. Similarly, that's why I didn't do one for the Romulan last night. Very solid ship. Aft disruptor emitters, very exciting for Romulans. But like, the thing is, it's not like a battle station thing. You know, there's no ridiculous combo we can do with this thing. But there is a very good card on Bioship Omega that I wanna put into this build, especially because I've noticed a very interesting rules interaction with it. Okay, so before we talk about that, let's talk about Bioship Alpha, because I actually really like this ship. It has not come to battle stations before because, frankly, I haven't done anything particularly interesting with it that hasn't been done by somebody else already, so I didn't really see the need. And you know, everybody knows it's pretty good, and I'm going for more underused things. But let's go over ship. Bioship Alpha is a species 8472 Bioship class. It's unique. Costs 38 points. Species 8472 faction, obviously. 38 points. It is 6 attack, 2 agility, 5 hull, 6 shields, no crew, 3 tech, 2 weapons, a 90-degree front arc, and no rear arc. Its actions are scan, evasive target lock, and the regenerate action, which is, if you do not know, regenerate, remove 1 damage to your, repair 1 damage to your hull. You may not attack this round. Moves. It's got green 1 and 2 straight, and 1 banks, white 3 and 4 straight, 2 and 3 banks, and 2 hard turns, red hard 3 turns, and a 3 come about. This is a pretty good dial. I'm very fond of this dial. I really like ships that have white 2s these days. It's pretty nimble, especially if you put some more maneuverability on it, but we're not going to do that today. Today, we're going to be looking at things that sort of take advantage of its ability. Which is, when you attack with your primary weapon, if you inflict at least 3 damage, place an auxiliary power token beside the target ship. Okay. In the show, the Species 8472 had bioships. They were never really named, so the WizKids are calling them Bioship Alpha. So this is a bioship at some point. Competitive history. The named variant doesn't have a ton of competitive history because with the 50-point limit, and this being a 38-point ship, every point counts. But the Generic species bioship. I mean, this was in the World Championship finals. I mean, this is a known player in the community. This is probably, out of every single ship I've looked at so far on Battle Station, this is probably the most well-known competitively. And Bioship Alpha just takes 2 points to get an extra shield and add an ability on top of that. Pros, I love this ability. When I played in regionals, I took 2 spheres and 2 Borg missiles. I love attacks that tack on. I mean, this is 6 attack dice with the opportunity to put an auxiliary power token down, durability 11, super maneuverable, 3 tech slots. I just love it. Disadvantages. It doesn't get battle stations. That's kind of a problem. You have to sort of work to get quality on this. It has no crew slots. That is a pain for a lot of builds. It has no rear arc, though that's not that much of an issue with this ship. Also, in a perfect world, in my perfect world, a Bioship is 6156 and 2 points cheaper. But you can't always get what you want. But if you try real hard, you can sometimes get what you need. And I feel like that should almost be the slogan of this show, actually. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the foundation of our build is obviously the Bioship itself. Bioship Alpha, 38 points. We do not have a lot of room to work with here. We're also going to need a crew slot for what I have in mind today. Fortunately, there is a captain that synergizes particularly well both with the crew slot and with what we're trying to do here, and that is Jean-Luc Picard, 8. Jean-Luc Picard 8, also known affectionately to Attack Wing fans as Ahab Picard, says, add 1 crew, tech, weapon, or talents upgrade to your upgrade bar, your choice. At the start of the game, after setup, choose 1 faction. Whenever you attack a ship of that faction, you may roll 1 less attack die to add 1 crit result to your roll. Each time you defend against a ship of that faction, roll +1 defense die. Now, an important thing to note is because of recent changes to the whenever you attack rulings, this will still work on every attack. Yes, we're going with multiple attacks here. So, Picard basically says 1 of your dice is automatically a crit. That's pretty good. It also gives you a crew slot in this case. It does have a talent slot. It's an 8 skill, 5 cost unique captain. But it does good work here. It does what we need it to do. However, it is a little pricey. With faction penalty at 6 points, which is why our resource for this build is Species 8472/Federation Officer Exchange Program. I realize that probably sounds not so great to people, but you could also put Spock on another Bioship and just send that out, and that would be great. If you wanted to use a Federation ship, David previewed a really good Species 8472 captain tonight. I'm not going to let on what it is, because that's, go see for yourself. Watch David's video. Give him traffic. He's a nice guy. Enough with the teasing. The other thing I'm going to put on here is this is totally optional. And there are advantages and disadvantages to do it. It does lower captain skill. But since he's free, I'm going to throw Matt Decker on here. Matt Decker is a admiral from the USS Intrepid. He grants a talent slot. He's 1 point Federation, so free for us. Free talent slot. Hey, we're not doing anything with it, but hey. And he says, action, target a ship within range 1 to 3. That ship rolls 1 extra attack die this round and take 1 damage. Okay. The interesting thing here is he doesn't say "and friendly ship." He says any ship, including your own ship. Now, there may actually be times on this build when we want to use this on itself, as we shall soon see, but action, opponent takes 1 damage is really, really good, you guys. Really, really good. So, he'll probably see a lot of action. We will, I mean, he's not necessary, he's just something I want to throw on there, just also to make people aware of the trick. But now we've got 4 points for Picard, thanks to Officer Exchange Program, none for Decker, 38 for the base ship, so we're at 42 points. We got to spend 8 more points. Now here's where today's preview card comes into it. The card we are going to look at is a card called Energy Weapon. I am going to tell you what this one does just because it's so crucial to what I'm doing here. Energy Weapon is a 4-point weapon upgrade for species 8472. It is not unique. That is important. It says, during the activation phase, if an enemy ship ends its move in your forward firing arc, you may discard this card to immediately perform an additional attack against that ship with your primary weapon at -3 attack dice. If you do so, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. This upgrade may only be purchased for species 8472 Bioship, and no ship may be equipped with more than one energy weapon upgrade. Okay, obviously this is super good on Bioship Alpha. Why? Because, first of all, I mean, extra attack in the activation phase is amazing. Hit those cloakers all day, every day. But here's the really crucial part for Alpha. If an enemy ship ends its movement phase in your forward firing arc, you may discard this card to immediately perform an additional attack. Okay, that happens before everything else. That happens before, after you move triggers. That happens, it says immediately. But the point is, it happens before their action step. Why is this important? Because if you get 3 hits on this with Bioship Alpha, they will get an auxiliary power token and will not be able to take an action after they move. This is super, super, super important. This is so good. So good. Enough that, like, I almost want, like, in this fleet that I'm imaginarily constructing in my head, I want to put Mendak and, like, Martok on, and, well, that might not actually work, but, like, I want to, the point is, I want to get, like, as much quality as possible. Kieran Reese or something to give this ship a target lock that it can use on this attack. So powerful. But you can only get once per ship, so this is sort of a one-trick pony. Or is it? So one of the things I also discovered while I was working with this is that there's a very sort of interesting loophole on a card like this. It says, no ship may be equipped with more than one energy weapon upgrade. Well, we can't put it on a shuttle because it's species 8472 only. But, and here's why we got the crew slot, we have a different option. With 3 of our 4 remaining points, we're going to put on Quark. Think about that for a second. Now here's what we're doing. Here's what we're up to. Let me explain this out to you guys. Quark, I should read Quark. If you don't know him, you should. He's a very competitively useful card. Quark says, at the start of the game, place 1 non-Borg weapon upgrade weapon or tech upgrade, pardon me, with at least with a cost of 5 or less face down beneath this card. At any time, you may discard Quark to flip the upgrade that is beneath this card face up and deploy it to your ship, even if it exceeds your ship's restrictions. Now, it was ruled that Quark cannot exceeds your ship's restriction, basically refers to the upgrade bar. Quark can't put, enhanced hull plating on a ship that already has it, or on a non-Federation ship or something. Okay, but how does that help us? Because after you discard energy weapon, it is no longer equipped to your ship. You are not exceeding any restrictions whatsoever if you discard energy weapon and then throw on another one with Quark. This may get changed. Honestly, this is a very powerful interaction. Being able to do energy weapon twice per game on Bioship Alpha is frightening. It's very good, especially considering that why are we using Picard 8? Because Picard 8, not only, first of all, he gives you the crew slot, which you need, and he automatically gives you one of the 3 damage you need for that auxiliary power token, and it's a crit. I mean, if you do this twice against the, it may very well be that, like, if you hit hull with that crit, like, that's ridiculous, especially against cloakers, in the activation phase. This is a very potent combination. And now there are probably other tricks out there. I can't think of too many, like, single shot, non-unique, but once per ship techs. I don't know. It's probably something I'm forgetting out there. You guys at home have fun with this. Yeah, that's basically what's going on with that. I mean, this is a combo that I think is very interesting. Now that leaves us at 49 points. Are there 1-point things we could include? Sure. There are some 1-point species 8472 upgrades. No, there aren't, you say, Tucker, and I say to you, well, you obviously haven't seen David's preview video yet. But since none of them are particularly powerful interactions and aren't strictly necessary to the build, in order to find out what they are, you should go watch David's video, because I'm not going to steal his thunder. So our final build, our final build for the evening for this edition of Battle Station is Bioship Alpha, 38 points. Officer Exchange Program, Species 8472 and Federation, doesn't cost anything. Jean-Luc Picard, 8, taking a crew slot at 42 points. Admiral Matt Decker, 0 points for 42 points. Energy Weapon for 46 points. And Quark with another energy weapon equipped for a total of 49 points. I hope everybody has fun with this build. Go out and give it a shot, see what happens, see if it's as potent as I hope. I would also love to hear if any of you, go out there and, try some variant on this. There was a thread posted in, I think, the strategic community talking about my Dauntless last week and various variants of it. I like that, go for it. So basically, yeah, have fun. Keep watching the blind previews. I know I will be. For all I know, I'll be doing this again tomorrow night. So thank you for listening. Go ahead, rate me on iTunes podcast. Check out the, keep checking the RSS feed. You'll never know what comes up. But until next time, thank you very much for listening. Stand down, red alert, and secure from Battle Station.